So hello everyone, today I'm going to discuss about implicature. So the main concept that highlights pragmatics as a branch of linguistics is the concept of conversational implicature. The conversational implicature was at first proposed by the philosopher Paul Grice in lecture at Harvard University in 1967. So Herbert Paul Grice, or usually publishing under the name H.P. Grice or H. Paul Grice or just Paul Grice, was a British philosopher of language whose work on meaning has influenced the philosophical study of semantics. He is known for his theory of implicature. So an article called Logic and Conversation was proposed to solve the problems of language meaning which cannot be explained by any theories general in linguistics. So in the study of pragmatics and discourse, implication means something involved in the conversation. So Laksana explains that implicature is what logically the conclusion of a speech, as well as the shared background of knowing between the speaker and the hearer in a given context. Therefore, implicature shows the differences between what is said from what is meant. The word implicature is derived from the verb to imply as its cognate implication. So for example, person A, what time is it? Person B, the newspaper has not arrived yet. Conventionally, both sentences seem unrelated. However, actually there are extralinguistic factors involved in reconstructing the sentences. If the sentence are extended, it will be like the following. Person A, could you tell me what time is it as it is shown in the watch? And if you could, please tell me. Person B, I don't know exactly what time it is now, but I can tell you a habit where you can guess what time it is. That is, the newspaper commonly delivered has not arrived yet. So in the example, the information of answer required is not given directly and completely in the dialogue 1, but the statement given in dialogue 2 can be understood by the person who was asking. The difference between dialogue 1 and 2 is quite large and cannot be explained by using conventional theory of semantics. To solve these problems, we need a system, and the concept of conversational implicature is the solution. So another example is, John is meeting a woman this evening. So in conclusion, the woman John is meeting this evening is not his mother, sister, or his wife. So as you can see, implicature is any meaning which is conveyed indirectly or through hints and understood implicitly without ever being explicitly stated. So according to Brown and Yule, implicature is the elements outside of the text. If it is returned to the initial concept, it can be understood that the relationship between the two prepositions, speech and implication, is not an absolute consequence. The absence of such a relationship can actually connect conversational act so that the conversation can run smoothly and succeed effectively. So based on the concept explained previously, implicature can be defined with the following characteristics. The implication is not stated directly. It does not have any absolute relationship with utterances realized. It includes extra-linguistic elements. It is open interpretation, and it occurs due to obedience or disobedience to the cooperative principles in the conversation. So there are two types of implicature. First is the conversational implicature, and second, the conventional implicature. So conversational implicature is an implications derived on the basis of conversational principles and assumptions, relying more than the linguistic meaning of words in a sentence. A conversationally implicates B if it is the case that uttering A in a certain conversational context systematically suggests, everything else being equal, that B is true. However, the implicature can be called off or canceled. For example, student A, do you like linguistics? Student B, well, let's just say I don't jump for joy before class. So A asked B about his feelings about the class, and B said B didn't celebrate before the class. It shows the uninterested feeling of B about linguistic subjects or linguistic subject. So implicatures arise from the interaction of the following three factors. First, the proposition actually expressed in the utterance. Second, possibly certain features of the context in any of the three notions of context. Third, the assumption that the speaker is obeying the rules of conversation to the best of their ability. Example number 2, a standard implicature wherein a speaker is trying to obey the rules in conversation. So person A, will Sally be at the meeting this afternoon? And person B, her car broke down. So in conclusion, Since Sally's car broke down, she won't be at the meeting. So conventional implicature. Conventional implicature is the implication which is general and conventional. In general, everyone has known and understood the meaning or implications of a case. Understanding the implications conventionally supposes the listener or reader to have experience and general knowledge. Consider the following example. Sentence A. John is handsome, but he rides CD70. Sentence B. John is handsome. Sentence C. John rides CD70. In sentence D, there is a contradiction between sentence B and C. So on the example, sentence A contains two basic statements, as in sentence B and C, and higher comments is on sentence D. Sentence A contains a contradiction between John, because John has a charming and handsome face, while CD70 is identical to an old and ugly motorcycle. So the conjunction used is the word but. This is what has been suggested by Grice related to the basic statement in a sentence, which can use conjunction such as moreover, but, therefore, on the other hand, or so. For this reason, in general, conventional is distinguished based on the content, which is descriptive, only affect the value of truth only, and is also indicative that produce implicature. So, another example, Joe is poor but happy. In this sentence, you can see that it implies poverty and happiness are not compatible, but in spite of this, Joe is still happy. This sentence will always necessarily imply, surprisingly, Joe is happy in spite of being poor. So conventional implicature is not much studied by experts of pragmatics because it is not so interesting. This is due to the implications contained tend to be firm and do not have much meaning. Type of implicature which is considered more attractive and very important in the study of pragmatic is conversational implicature. The study of conversational implicature will help in opening and extending the development of pragmatic. So that will be all. And if you have any questions, you can send me a private message and I will try to explain in any possible way that I can. Thank you.